Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to do the recap of lesson 33 together. I'm Julia, your online English teacher, and as usual we're going to review some difficult words together. We're going to quickly look at the grammar point of the day, and we're going to learn some new vocabulary related somehow to the topic. Let's get started. So from now on, you may notice that there will be fewer notes here appearing on my virtual whiteboard. The reason for this is that I would like for you to start using the subtitles more. I don't know if you already do so, but it's something that now it should be mandatory, systematic. The subtitles are available in English, so I recommend when you watch these recap videos, I recommend that you turn on the subtitles in English. You then switch to your mother tongue to then go back to English. Okay, so that's why there are fewer notes now that will appear. So the first point today is pronunciation of the relative pronouns. Today's vocabulary is quite diluted because the focus of the dialogue is the relative pronoun. So let's just repeat the relative pronouns out loud together. We will then do a grammar recap and then lots of vocabulary building exercises. So repeat after me. Who, where, when, which, that, whose. So when do we use relative pronouns? We have 5 types of relative pronouns. So first type of relative pronoun, we're going to use a relative pronoun for an object, to link an object to the main clause, give more information about an object. Here you have 2 pronouns which are interchangeable, which and that. So I can use this pen in my example. I can say, this is the pen that I use most, or this is the pen which I use most. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is for people. Here you can say who or that. She is the teacher that teaches online. She is the teacher who tutors online. Number 3 indicates possession. It's whose. This is the car whose owner is a terrible driver. Okay. And number 4 and 5 are for time and place. Number 4, you can say when or at which, depending on the context. So this is the time when I go to bed. This is the time at which I go to bed. And for place, so 5th type of relative pronoun, place, you can say where or in which or at which. So an example of that would be, this is the place where I film my videos. This is the bus stop at which you must wait. And this is the waiting room in which you can wait for the doctor. So those are the relative pronouns. At this point, I think through the practice exercises of the platform and the very comprehensive grammar video that is also contained in this lesson, you should get a very good idea of how to use them. The idea is just to avoid certain common mistakes. For example, when you're talking about a person, you can't say which. She is the person which. It doesn't work, but it's a very common mistake that you may have already heard or that you may be tempted to make yourself. So be careful there. And another common mistake that I hear is people forget that a relative pronoun is a pronoun. It's there to replace a subject pronoun, whatever else. So I often hear quite advanced students say things like, he is the neighbour that he told me about the lost cat, that he. So they repeat, they put the relative pronoun, forget that they've placed that, and then put a subject pronoun, subject personal pronoun. So that's quite problematic, but it's quite common. So don't forget how to use the relative pronoun, get some practice. I think the multiple choice format of exercises is great just to really get used to seeing sentences. But the next step would be for you now, after this video, to actually come up with a dozen examples of your own. I've literally just invented my examples, that's why they're always quite random, but you can try and really find some original examples and see if you really understand the use of the relative pronoun. Once again, do post in the comment section below if you have any doubts, if you've come up with your own examples and you have nobody in your surrounding, in your group of friends that can help you, then you can just post your doubts, your questions below, okay? And we will respond and let you know if those examples are correct, if they contain mistakes, why, and then you can go back to this lesson and get even more practice until you make fewer mistakes or no mistakes at all. Now let's move on to vocabulary. So for vocabulary today, I thought we could run through some synonyms, some alternatives for the verb memorize. So when you memorize something, what other verb or expression could you use? Here is a list. Repeat after me. Once we've done this pronunciation exercise, I would like you to write down this list and come up with your own examples, your own sentences containing these expressions. Once you've done that, you will know which of these expressions happen to be your favourite, and those are the ones that you can keep and learn off by heart. So I've already started, as you can see, to memorize. You can also say to learn off by heart. You can also say to learn by heart, to learn by rote, to remember, to retain, to stick to one's mind, to impress on the memory, and finally to commit to memory. So some of these expressions are great for everyday conversations, and others may be useful when writing in English. So the final part of this recap video is going to be about language learning goals. Very often when I ask my students, why are you learning English? Why are you improving your English? Why are you doing this course? I get a set of answers that constantly come up. So I thought I could maybe compile that list, supplement it a little, inject some new vocabulary, and we could repeat that list together today. After that, if you have other reasons for learning English, other ways of saying this, I would love for you to post that in the comment section to supplement this list that I will present you with today. So let's start off with, why are you learning English? I want to learn English, or I want to improve my English to communicate proficiently. I want to improve my English to understand complex texts. I am here because I want to be able to understand native speakers. I have lots of students that learn English for work. One of their answers could be, I'm here because by improving my English, I can build lasting work relationships. Other students are frustrated when they're at quite a low level or an intermediate level. They feel that their conversations are very similar each time or quite superficial. So one of the answers that I often get from my intermediate, upper intermediate learners is that they want to improve their language level to engage in more meaningful conversations in English. Some people want to learn a foreign language to make new friends. Lots of my learners will say, I want to speak English to travel the world. So here you could answer, I want to learn English to experience like a local when traveling. Very often you learn a foreign language to broaden your horizons. Many students will do an online course like this to boost their vocabulary learning. When we get to this intermediate level of English and we work towards a proficient level, we gain insights into another culture. Once again, for my students here, improving their English for work, very often it's because you want to improve your professional development, or even sometimes to meet specific industry needs. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you soon in our next recap videos. Bye bye.